Can we have an honest conversation about something that I've been meaning to share for a while? The drawback of living in Toronto. What I hate most about living in Toronto. But hey, don't get me wrong. Toronto is such a beautiful city with its own unique charm, and I spend more than half of my life in Toronto. But there's a particular thing that I really don't enjoy living in Toronto. And for those who are new to the channel, my name is quirky and I'm a real estate agent working in Toronto, Vaughan, and many surrounding area within the Greater Toronto area for the last almost a decade. And I've been helping so many families making a smooth move to those cities, and I absolutely love what I do. So if you and your family have a plan to make a move to either Toronto, Vaughan, or any other city within the Greater Toronto area and would love to have a discovery call with me, click on the link below, the calendar link, and book a 30-minute free consultation call with me and my team. So now let's dive right in and allow me to share my honest feeling of what I hate the most about living in Toronto. And if you're open to the discussion like this one, make sure to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss every week when our team releases a new video. So living in Toronto comes with a major drawback: the traffic. Whether you are driving or taking a public transit, you will find yourself in an endless traffic jam. The daily commute can be an absolute nightmare. You can spend hours in the traffic in your car waiting to get to your final destination. Let's not forget about the overcrowded subway or bus, especially during the rush hour. It's enough to create a claustrophobia. Also, there's a lot of construction around the city, and that causes an extra traffic jam. Next thing that I don't like about living in Toronto is the high cost of living. Living in Toronto is definitely not known for being cheap. From sky-high rent to soaring home price. So let's take a look at rental in Toronto. This is a report from rental.ca for the month of June. Look at this. Toronto ranked the third on the list of all the cities in Canada, and it costs $2,572 for one bedroom, and it costs $3,301 to rent a two-bedroom in Toronto. Now, let's take a look at the home price in Toronto. Let me show you the graph right here. What you're looking at right now is the stat for the June 2023. If you look at here, detached, on average, the home selling price in June is over $1.737 million. Semi-detached is over $1.343 million. For townhome is $1.27 million. And for the condominium is over $771,000. So those are the average selling price per home type in Toronto. Also, let's not forget about the cost of grocery in Toronto. Let me show you right here on the screen of the reporting from numbeo.com, which is the website that gathers all the costs. Right here, if you can take a look at the cost of living in Toronto. So let's scroll down to the grocery list. So for example, milk for 1 liter is on average $3.72. A loaf of bread is $3.55. Egg is like $4.52 for a dozen. And then you can go on the list right here. So you can take a look at the website numbeo.com for the live update of the cost of all the items from the grocery, and many other categories such as transportation, utility, childcare, etc. Now, the third item on the list that makes me sometimes wonder, why am I living in Toronto, is the winter. Hey, don't get me wrong, sometimes winter can look very beautiful with snowflake and everything is white outside. However, the truth is, winter here can be very long, and sometimes it goes to minus 30, minus 35 degrees. The bone-chilling cold, the snowstorm, the freezing temperature can be sometimes very hard to endure. And embrace yourself for sometimes the snowstorm, driving around, or even if you take a public transportation, walking on the sidewalk can be very challenging sometimes due to the icy road or sidewalk. So if you're not a fan of extreme cold, Toronto, a winter season might not be ideal for you. Another drawback of living in Toronto is the diversity of the weather. I'm not just talking about the Toronto winter itself. I'm talking about like the diversity of different type of weather, and it can change dramatically even within a day in living in Toronto. Like sometimes in Toronto, within a week, sometimes you can experience like a very hot and humid and sunny day to the raining and thunderstorm and the big drop in the temperature within that 1 week. So sometimes planning your activity or outfit can be tricky, especially with the diversity of the weather like this in Toronto. Next, let's address the summer humidity here. With the humidity here, sometimes you feel like you're walking in a sauna. The high humidity level make you feel like sticky and drained. Even a short walk outside in the heat or humidity can make you feel very uncomfortable. And that's why the air conditioner come in to save your life. So make sure before the summer months come, check your air conditioner to make sure it works and functions properly for those months with high humidity. Limited public transportation at night is another drawback of living in Toronto. Even though a public transportation system in Toronto is great and very extensive, however, be prepared for a very different experience at nighttime. The availability of bus and train dramatically decrease after a certain hour, limit your option to get around the city. So if you don't have a car or you prefer not to use the ride-sharing services, getting home at nighttime can be challenging. So be prepared for that. And another thing that sometimes drives me crazy is the constant construction noise in Toronto. The never-ending drilling and hammering can sometimes really disrupt your peaceful moment, whether you are at home or sometimes take a stroll in the park or the sidewalk. A city that never sleeps. So whether it can be a blessing or it can be a curse sometimes. With many attractions in the city and many events, festivals, day and night, sometimes it can be very challenging to find a peaceful and quiet moment to disconnect from the hustle and the bustle of the busy city like Toronto. Another drawback of living in Toronto is sometimes lack of the greenery space. Even though there's several park or nature greenery around the city, however, it can be very crowded, especially during the summer month when the warm weather and nice weather. It's really hard to find a quiet and relaxing spot for you and your family. I often heard the desire of the family who live in city of Toronto longing for more greenery space. So sometimes they do have to go a little bit further to the suburb to enjoy more greenery and quiet space. Next is competitive job market. So if you are planning to make a move to Toronto for the career opportunity and life-changing situation, then be prepared for a fierce and competitive job market. So with a thriving economy in Toronto and a wide range of talented individuals in the city and in the job market, be prepared to spend some time, extra effort and extra time to find your dream job. So don't forget the importance of networking and making and creating many new connections when you arrive in Toronto. So now you have it. All the things that I just shared with you is being very honest from my experience of living in Toronto. Those are the things that sometimes make me not enjoyable of living in Toronto. But keep in mind, this is sometimes my personal experience, and thanks for allowing me to share my honest experience with you. But maybe your experience when living in Toronto can be different. But with that said, despite several things that I just shared with you based on my honest experience of living in Toronto, I love this city. This city has many things to offer that I love. That's why I've been living here for more than half of my life, from amazing culture, diversity, great economy, high education system, an amazing hospital and healthcare system. You can name many. I have no intention of discouraging you to not making a move to Toronto. I do encouraging you to explore all this drawback beforehand before deciding to make a move to Toronto, so that once you arrive, you don't meet many unexpected things and you can build your new life here and enjoy this vibrant city that I haven't enjoyed over the last more than 2 decades. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to hit the thumbs up and share with your friend who also thinking to make a move to Toronto. And thank you so much for watching and allowing me to make an impact in your life. See you in the next one.